An automatic transmission is a convenient thing, but a finicky one. It allows you to drive in traffic without touching the clutch, gives smoothness, comfort, and saves energy. But if you handle it incorrectly, repairs for hundreds of thousands will not take long. And here's what's interesting. Many people don't even realize that their daily driving habits are killing them, slowly but surely. And some, on the contrary, act with the best intentions, thinking they're protecting the transmission. But in reality, they're only accelerating its wear. Therefore, in this article, we have collected 7 of the most common mistakes that most often lead to automatic transmission failure. And we've done it with a touch of irony, like a step-by-step guide on how to kill your automatic transmission, so that everyone can get to know themselves and stop doing that. Or not to stop, if the goal is still to repair. So, here is the first method. Imagine, it's -12 outside, not the coldest weather, it's still chilly. You start the engine, immediately shift into drive mode, slam the gas pedal, and take off, weaving through traffic like it's summer. In other words, no warm-up for the transmission at all. But if you just gave it a minute or two for the fluid to warm up and circulate, the transmission would shift smoothly, the clutches would engage gently. And in that mode, your automatic could last 300, even 400,000 kilometers. But hey, we're not here to make it last, right? We're here to kill it as fast as possible. The second way, launching with both pedals, also known as launch control. It looks impressive. You're at a red light, one foot on the brake, the other revving the engine up to 3, 4, even 5,000 RPM. Then, boom, you release the brake, the car rockets forward, tires squeal, smoke everywhere. It feels like a sports car, visually cool, adrenaline guaranteed. But for your automatic transmission, it's a real challenge. During such a launch, one part of the torque converter, connected to the engine, is already spinning at high speed, while the other part, linked to the transmission, is still stationary. The moment you release the brake, these parts engage abruptly, causing a shock load throughout the transmission. Temperature spikes instantly, the transmission fluid breaks down, and plastic components like bearing separators can literally start to melt. On turbocharged engines, this kind of start might give a noticeable boost, shaving off 0.5 to 1 second from your acceleration. But on naturally aspirated engines, the gain is minimal, while the damage to your transmission is very real. Clutches, synchronizers, and other components wear out much faster. This kind of move belongs on a racetrack, maybe in a drag race. But if you want your transmission to last and stay reliable, save the tricks for YouTube videos. Because replacing or rebuilding an automatic? That's not exactly a budget-friendly experience. The third method, shifting to neutral at every red light. A lot of drivers on automatic transmissions like to switch their gear lever to neutral during short stops. You're at a red light, into N. A few seconds later, back to D. And then, over and over again. Some even do it in stop-and-go traffic, moving a meter or two at a time. It might feel like you're helping your transmission last longer, but in reality, it's the opposite. Every time you switch from N to D, the clutches inside the transmission disengage and re-engage. That means tiny shock loads happen constantly, especially when the fluid is hot. Do it often enough, and you're not saving your transmission. You're abusing it. If you're stopped for less than a minute, just leave it in D. That's actually safer. Switching to neutral only makes sense during longer stops, 2 to 3 minutes or more. Now, let's talk about something many drivers don't think twice about: coasting downhill in neutral. And that's our fourth method, coasting in neutral. This habit also comes from manual transmission drivers. The car rolls, the engine idles. Sounds like fuel savings, right? But if you suddenly shift into D while rolling at 40 to 60 kilometers per hour, or even faster, you're delivering a massive shock to your transmission. Why? Because the turbine wheels inside the torque converter are spinning at different speeds. And when you throw it into drive mid-roll, those parts suddenly engage. And boom, a huge load spike. This can lead to burned clutches, damaged gear sets, or even a broken torque converter. There have been cases where just one such mistake at 80+ kilometers per hour sent the gearbox straight to a rebuild. So here's the rule of thumb. If you really must coast in neutral, only shift into D after you've come to a complete stop. Or better yet, don't coast in neutral at all. Keep it in gear, stay safe, and let the transmission do its job. Fifth method, improper parking. You pull into a parking spot, driving an automatic, everything's routine. Stop the car, shift into P, park, turn off the engine, take out the key, lock up, and off you go. Seems fine, right? But here's the catch. When you put the gear selector in P, a small locking pin inside the transmission engages, locking the drivetrain and preventing the car from rolling. If you're on a perfectly flat surface, no problem, there's almost no stress. But even a slight incline, say 10 degrees, changes everything. Every time you shift out of P, that little pin is under enormous strain as it tries to release the full weight of the vehicle. Over time, this causes wear on the lock mechanism and may even stretch the shift cables. Eventually, this can lead to seemingly minor issues, like your reverse lights not turning on when shifting to R, but that's already a reason for repair. Drivers who actually want to protect their transmission do it right. First, engage the parking brake, then shift into P. This way, the weight of the vehicle is held by the brakes, not by the delicate internals of your transmission. Much safer. But hey, don't forget what this video is about. We're not here to preserve the transmission, we're here to destroy it. So forget the handbrake, just rely on P alone. Doesn't matter if you're on a slope or sitting on a pile of rocks. We go hard or go home. Sixth method, towing and overloading your transmission. Automatic transmissions hate overheating, and that's exactly what happens when you're spinning your wheels in deep snow or trying to tow something heavy. Yet many drivers seem to forget that and keep punishing their gearboxes in the worst possible scenarios. Imagine this, your car's stuck in mud or snow. You floor the gas, trying to rock it free, but all you're doing is raising the temperature of the transmission fluid to dangerous levels. The oil starts to break down, losing its lubricating properties. Friction material sheds off, sludge and debris build up, and soon your valve body and solenoids get clogged. The result? Hard shifts, jerking, and a gearbox that starts to misbehave. Sure, if the car is still moving a bit and you can gently rock it out, go for it, carefully. But if the wheels are spinning and the car isn't budging, stop immediately. Keep going, and your transmission could burn out in minutes. Now, let's talk about another hero move, towing another vehicle. Maybe your friend's car broke down and you're feeling helpful. You hook it up and start driving. Seems fine, right? Wrong. Your transmission's clutches are clamped, but they're not designed for that kind of load. Under the extra weight, 1.5 tons or more, the clutches start to slip, overheat, and wear down fast. Even a quick 10 to 15 kilometer tow can send your transmission into early retirement. Yes, that actually happens. And now the grand finale, your car won't move anymore. The transmission's gone. You should probably call a tow truck, right? But real champions? They grab a rope, call a buddy, and go old school. 100 kilometers down the highway at 90 kilometers per hour. Why settle for a slow death when you can finish the job in style? Want to kill your transmission? Tow anything you want. Spin the wheels all day. Ignore the temperature. Want it to live? Avoid towing. Avoid overheating. And call a tow truck. It's not cheap, but it's still way cheaper than rebuilding your transmission. Seventh method, never changing your transmission fluid. This, my friends, is the plague of modern automatic transmission. These days, it's not uncommon to hear this from dealership service advisors. The transmission fluid is lifetime filled. You don't need to change it. That right there is one of the most dangerous myths out there. And yes, I may sound a little harsh, but if someone tells you that, don't believe a single word. That's a one-way ticket to early transmission failure. Speaking from experience, I've worked on a lot of automatics, and one thing is clear. The lifespan of a transmission depends heavily on its cooling system and how it's used. Some gearboxes have proper external cooling and can handle operating temperatures just fine. Others, especially in city traffic, suffer from poor heat dissipation. In those, even light use can lead to fluid temps hitting 110 to 120 degrees Celsius. And at that point, wear accelerates fast. Adding an external cooler in such cases can easily double the life of the transmission. But even that won't help if the fluid is already burned and full of sludge. Here's what you need to know. In many modern transmissions, the fluid filter is non-removable. It's built in. To replace it, you'd have to open the entire gearbox, which is a pricey job. So, the smart move? Don't let the fluid get that dirty in the first place. If you change it regularly, while it's still relatively clean and transparent, the internal filter stays clear, hydraulic pressure stays stable, and the transmission lives a long, healthy life. Recommended interval? Every 40,000 to 60,000 kilometers, depending on how and where you drive. This is especially important for modern 6-speed and higher transmissions, which are more sensitive to overheating and contamination. Old-school automatics were simpler. Removable pans, replaceable filters, basic service every 60,000 kilometers kept them going for 300 to 400,000 kilometers with no issues. But newer transmissions don't work that way. If you never change the fluid, by the time you hit 100 to 120,000 kilometers, the problems start rolling in. Hard shifts. The shifting is uneven. The car thinks before moving. You go to a shop and they say, your solenoids are clogged. The valve body's toast. We need to rebuild half the transmission. But often, all it takes is removing the valve body, cleaning the solenoids, and refilling with fresh fluid. And boom, it drives like new. We've seen it many times, and it doesn't cost much. But a dealer? He'll never tell you that. Full transmission repair is way more profitable. If you want to kill your transmission, don't change the fluid. Just keep driving until the gearbox starts jerking, slipping, and throwing warning signs. But if you want your automatic to run smoothly and reliably for years, change the fluid every 50 to 60,000 kilometers and ignore anyone who tells you it's lifetime. So there you have it, friends. Now you know exactly how to quickly and efficiently send your automatic transmission to an early grave. Launch with both pedals, shift into neutral whenever you feel like it, tow heavy loads, ignore fluid changes, and believe me, your transmission will remember you, though probably not fondly. But seriously, every one of these mistakes can destroy your transmission. If you want it to last 200, 300, even 400,000 kilometers, just avoid these habits. No rocket science here, just a little awareness and common sense. Take care of yourself and your car, and you'll stay away from both repairs and tow trucks for a long time. Safe travels.